Okay, hello and thank you. I know at least some of you are really excited about what we're going to show you here today. And this is something we've been working on for some time now. We're going to show you just how easy it is to access your data and control your HE system whilst on the move. Okay, first of all, you might be thinking, oh cool, Ferris Bueller, that's a nice movie. It's got Ferraris, it's got a great soundtrack, it's got the Beatles, it's got everything. But what's it got to do with hydrocarbon accounting? Well, I looked into it, and actually it's not a lot. But it mostly turns out that what I remember from Ferris Bueller and what a lot of people remember from this particular movie is one particular quote. And this quote's probably more relevant now than it was back then, 28 years ago when this movie was made. Who feels old now? But the point that I'm trying to make is that the world that we grew up in is not the world that we live in today. Back when I was at school, the latest technology was this. It was a BBC microcomputer, a machine that was so expensive and technologically advanced that our school could afford one. And it was kept in a locked room on the 3rd floor, and no one was allowed to use it. And it was only really the well-behaved children that were allowed to learn with this particular machine. I was not one of them. Fast forward to today, schools are a very different place. But the way that we use technology is completely different, and it's continuing to change. None more so than the demand to access data on a mobile device or a tablet. Just to clarify, this is actually a picture of a school. This is not our software development team having a product roadmap meeting. But there are already signs that we're about to witness what could be the death of the desktop. Less than 2 weeks ago, IDC updated its long-range worldwide PCV tablet sales, and it started to slash its predictions for growth in both PC and tablet. But however, they still expect sales of tablets to overtake PCs very soon, and we could soon be on the verge of the first quarter where that happens. But where does that leave us? Well, right now, there's an expectation from many people to be able to carry out simple daily tasks on a tablet or a smartphone. This is backed up by the number of software providers who are adapting to meet this particular need. We're no different, but we wanted to give you an idea of where we're going with our web services and mobility. Using web services and mobility from EnergySys opens up a whole new world of possibilities for your production data. Having access to that particular data on the move, from anywhere in the world is great. But what if you could connect to that data, create a custom report, a presentation, or a dashboard, and share with your team whilst you're commuting to work or sitting at the airport waiting to catch a flight? Today, I'm going to show you just 2 examples of how easy it is to do that. And these are tasks that sometimes take a lot of time and probably take more frustration as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you how easy it is to create, edit, and share a dashboard using OData and web services, and how to prepare monthly data for a presentation. And just to show you how easy it is to do it, yesterday was a very proud day in the Robertson house. My daughter Darcy, who's 3 years old, created her first production dashboard before she went to nursery. But don't be too impressed by that. Not long afterwards, she found some nappy cream that she thought was suntan lotion and covered herself in it. So that's about the highlight of the day there. So I'm just going to connect into my iPad here. Now, everything I'm showing you now is going to be run from the iPad. Okay. Right. What we're doing now is we're using an application called Report Plus. And Report Plus is just going to connect to all of our data. And there's a number of ways that you can connect to your data. Right now, we're sharing our stuff through a Google Drive. So we'll have documents that are shared with me on Google Drive, but you can also connect this to a whole host of other resources. So if you have your information stored in Dropbox, if you have it stored in SharePoint, you can easily connect to those. For the purposes of the demonstration, I'll just be using local files because we have had some connection issues here. But what I'm going to show you, first of all, is just how easy it is to create a dashboard similar to the one that we've got here. So for the purposes of this example, we're going to assume that our CFO wants a dashboard that, again, for the purposes of the example, it's a he, that he wants to access that data from anywhere on his iPad. And we'll set this up for him and show you how quick and easy that is to do. First of all, we're going to add a new dashboard. So we click on the plus sign here. And then you can get a load of templates in there. You can save your own templates, but we're just going to start from scratch and build a blank one. And next thing that we're going to do is we're going to increase the space that we're working with, because there's probably quite a lot of things that we want to do, add into this, So I'm going to just make this 5 columns by 4 rows just to increase the amount of space, and I'm going to save this as CFO dashboard 1. Done. So all that is done is given us our dashboard to work with, and now we have to populate that with some data. On the left-hand side, you can see we've got our data sources. So we've got local files, we can use multiple sources. I'm connected, well I was connected to our demo system on our server, and I can pull data in from there, but again, just for today, I'm going to use local files. And what I have in here is a number of reports and spreadsheets that we use. And the one that I'm going to use is typically what we would do in the past, which would be pull all that information into a spreadsheet for the CFO. And we're just going to use that to build our own dashboard. Now, some of the things that our dashboard is going to contain is all listed down here, and what you have down the left-hand side is the data from all of the sheets within that particular Excel spreadsheet. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in production by field, because our CFO likes to see production by field. So I'm just going to take that and drop it there. And that's going to take me into a setup window. Now, what this has got here is this pulling through the data on percentage of production for the past 24 hours. Now, like every CFO, they love a pie chart, so we're going to make this a pie chart. And straight away, it just changes all that over to the pie chart for us. And we're going to click Done, and that's saved that there. Now, you can't really see that very well, so let's just stretch that, and then click Done. So that's the first part of our dashboard. That's okay, need to do some more. So what we're going to do is we'll add some more data in here. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a cost per barrel, because that's something that our CFO has to report on. So let's click on cost per barrel, and let's drag that over to, let's see, we'll put that up here. And for the cost per barrel, what we're going to put in is we're going to make this a text box, and we're going to take the cost and we're going to drop that in to the values as rows. So right now we're running at a cost per barrel of $22.3 on our production. So I'm going to click Done there, and that's saved that. And you can see there that it's automatically put in the heading for that particular widget that I've added in. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in production for the past 24 hours. So let's take production for the past 24 hours, and we're going to drop that up the top here. And what we're going to do with this one, we're going to make this a bar chart. So if we click on bar chart on the visualization tab on the right-hand side, that gives us our production for the past 24 hours. And it's just click Done, and we'll stretch that out a bit because that's quite an important one. Click that. So yeah, that's all looking good. Let's edit that. But there's one thing that I want to do here is the CFO might not really understand what these bars and values are. So let's change this particular one. And we're going to change the layout of this one. And we're going to add in the values at the top of the bars. And okay, click Done. So that's looking much better there. Next thing that we're going to do is production for the past 30 days. So this is quite a good one. See, and it's quite a big chart. So I'll take the past 30 days tab, take it, and I'm going to drop it right in the bottom here. And I'm going to make this one a bar chart too. And I'm going to take the day number, not the actual date. Put that in there. Yep. No, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to take that back off. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I'm going to click Done. Now that chart could do with being stretched out a bit, so let's stretch that out there and click Done. So that's showing us at the bottom of our chart what our production is for the past 30 days. Now by pressing any of these enlarges them right up to the full size of the screen. So what you're seeing here is what I'm seeing on the iPad, and we can add values to that one as well. So let's just do that. We'll see what the values look like. Okay, click Done. So we've saved that as well. And next thing that we're going to do is locations. Now, I didn't know that Peter was going to show you his fancy locations thing. He kept that secret, so I thought mine was fantastic, but it's probably not as good. Let's have a look. What we have is our field locations sheet, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to drop that over here. We'll make this onto a map. So on the visualization side here, we've got map. So I'm going to click on that. And now we have to assign these because on the geocoding, it's going to ask where these values are. So let's populate those. So we'll put in our latitude column. And we'll put in our longitude column. And there you go. That's made our map. Click Done. And again, we're going to stretch this out because he likes pictures. And click Done. And then you can see here's a map of our fields. And we can pinch and zoom. So you can imagine if you have this and you have operations all over the world, you can pinpoint all your operations and your CFO can access that data within a couple of touches. Similar to before, we need to put some values onto this. So what we want to show the CFO is what the production was for the past 24 hours on these ones. So let me just click on that, edit that, and change the settings. And then we're going to change the label from field and value to production for the past 24 hours. Click Done, and then Done again. Click on the field locations so we can see that. And by touching on any of these, it'll tell us what the field name is and what production was for the past 24 hours. The next thing that we want to do is let's put in our well status. And I'll just add in a couple of more things just to try and complete this. So let's drag and drop well status over here. I'm going to make this text. So we've got 19 wells, 17 online and 2 offline. Click Done. So that, again, this is going to just keep pulling through and populating this with live data every time that this is opened. But you can shut this down and the CFO can refresh this as they want. And then to finish this off, I'm going to put BOE for the last 24 hours, and I'm going to make this a gauge, and we're going to make that circular, and we're going to add in the value in there. No. Let me cancel that. Let me try a different one. Let's try for the past 30 days. Let's take our average for the past 30 days, and we're going to make that, and we're going to change this to circular. There we go. So our production, average production for the past 30 days was 11,500 barrels per day. What we also can do here is we can change this and we can add some parameters around that. So we can say red, amber, green this, so it can quite easily highlight when or the production has fallen in or outside of the values that you're reporting on. So let's make the lowest value 5,000 and let's make the maximum 15 and apply that. And then what we can do is we can change this. So if anything between 20 and 80% is amber, or actually let's take it, anything between 50 and 80% is green. Apply that. So that's changed our graph to green. And click Done. I'm just going to stretch that one up there. And done. So there we go. That's, 10 minutes, and we've created a CFO dashboard. What we can do from here is we can start to share that. So we can push this out to the CFO if they're using Reports Plus. Then we can send this as an attachment. So we'll save this first of all. And we'll share this. So we can share this by email. Okay. And then that'll just pull up your email tool and it'll put in the R Plus report, and that can send that off. CFO opens that, saves it into their Report Plus app, and then they've got the exact same thing there. Let me just delete that. You can export it to slides, which I'll show you on a different one, or you can save it and rename it something else. But that's just to show you how quickly you can build a dashboard for a CFO using web services, OData, and a simple third-party tool. The second thing I'm going to show you is one that I prepared earlier. And this is a dashboard which is showing global production. Now, I did have some problems because the university network wasn't letting me connect to some of the sources for this one, but I've since saved this as a local file. But this is pulling information from a spreadsheet that I had already populated. And this gives us information about our global operations on one particular application. So you can see here what our monthly production is to date. Again, changing any of these values and adding the actual values at the top of the columns is easy enough to do. But if you look down the right-hand side, you've got the countries that you have your operations in. And by clicking on any of those, it changes your chart and changes all of your production data specific to that particular region. Unfortunately, it's not liking the Nigeria flag today. I don't know if something's happened there. But you can see key specific information about your productions in that area. And what you can do from here is you can open this up. This can again populate automatically from the information that you've got on your spreadsheet. And from here, what we would normally do is, for example, the CFO has to present this once a month at the board meeting. Well, that's easy enough to do. If we click on the export at the top, we're going to show you how easy it is to export this into slides. So we're going to click export to slides. Now, depending on the amount of data that you have and you're exporting, that calculates how much time it's going to take. So I'm going to click preview. So it's just going to run those reports, and then it's going to build us a PowerPoint presentation from all of that data. So you can imagine you can have this set up for the person that's responsible for reporting all of this information to the board, and once a month they don't have to chase people for spreadsheets or anything. They can just log in. As long as the source data has been updated, then they can get all of their information within a couple of touches, and they don't even have to be anywhere near a PC to do that. So it's built that presentation, and what we're going to do here is we can either, well, we wouldn't want to send it as a message, but we can use the tools in iPad, and we can send this as an email attachment. We can open it in GoToMeeting, share it into Dropbox. What we're going to do is our CFO doesn't really take a laptop with them. They go everywhere with their iPad, so we're going to put it on their PowerPoint for them. And then it's just going to open that presentation. It's going to ask me to cancel that. Save and edit. Now, let's just save it as global production. And from here, the CFO can walk into the room, and there they've got all of their production data on a presentation within a couple of minutes. Minus a Nigeria flag. So that's just what I wanted to show you today, just a couple of little tasks. I mean, we're really just scratching the surface here. Some of the stuff that you can do with this particular tool and connecting to your data is really quite clever. And you know, if you want us to come along and show you how to do this and give you a more in-depth demonstration, just let any one of us know and we can set that up. But if you have any questions, we can take it from there.